Hello everyone, I'm Xander and today we're going to be talking about Stickman Odyssey Book 2, The Wrath of Zazimos. Let's start off with the plot. So, right off the bat, he's kidnapped by his uncle. He does not want to be kidnapped. And he talks about how they want to receive the piece of sky that fell out. And the monster was there too. He gets scared away. They don't want to help him, so Praxis does it by himself. Zazimos and him go to the witch's house. He wants to go back to help Praxis, so he stays behind. And then he says that he got kidnapped. More reminders. This part's not very important. He apparently dies, but he doesn't. He gets turned into a goat. He almost gets killed by Alexa. He talks to this big pig thing. And he finds the desert. She plays so many pranks on him. With vinegar instead of water. He gets really upset. Finds Alexa almost dead, and he grabs her and they go to find water. They end up finding water. It's off. And he finds out that her mother's the queen that killed his father. And they go crazy, and then that means that they're brother and sister, and it's gross. And she cuts out her eyeballs. It's kind of sad. They were pretty cool together. He gets inside of Stickman. Goes a little crazy, fights some people, and it turns out he was lied to by his uncle. His dad was evil. Nestor doesn't die. And he asks if he could have the kingdom back. And she lets him if he gets a golden feather. Esther's gonna take over Stickman in 1 year. So they have to hurry. Part 2. He has to go back for his friends. She thinks he's a frog, and he accidentally dropped his brick in the ocean. So, it's not going well for them. He gets laughed at by mermaids. He gives her the eyeball. He had it the whole time. And his curse gets broken. He's just taller now. Which I like him taller. He gets mad at the mermaids for being mean. They help him get the sky piece back to his wife. They all go back on another adventure to get the golden feather. There's their crew. Kyle's pretty funny. They talk. They run out of food. They reach a end edge of a world. They eat a bunch of sheep. This god gets triggered and he sets everyone on fire. Then Asteria comes back. This time she's kind of cool now, but I don't know, she's kind of rude at first. So they have a little party, a little sword fight. And they're on the wrong side of the island. And he gives up. They talk him back into it. Then she uses the wind from her bag to send them away. This god dude takes Alexa and runs off with her. And they flip a coin and they go after her instead. She gets mad at him because he didn't cut out his eyes like she said they should. He gives him a wish. He wants to be on the other edge of the world, and he should have asked for the golden feather. Then they climb some mountains. She messes with them, makes them all tired. They battle different enemies, like this dude with a bunch of eyes, Medusa, and like themselves. This bird's pretty funny. He ends up battling a snake, gets the golden feather, and then they leave, but then they find this guy with the Temple of Skulls. This is a really funny part. He beats up Praxis, and Zosmos makes fun of him, and he gets smaller and smaller until they treat him like a baby and he disappears. And they make it. They have something. Praxis is looking at his hole in the sky. They see other ships. But Nestor is in a bunch of centaurs on there. He's on the way to rule it. So they get away. He throws his sword out. And they make it into here. And then the queen gets shot. Then he becomes the ruler, and he has to end up fighting Nestor, which is in part 3. 1 year later, he has a kid already. They're his like royal guards. More family stuff. Pegleg got in trouble. They pull out the people. And Asteria is mortally wounded. And she dies. It makes him super angry. And this is where the best part of the book happens. He goes full on crazy. Making all these things with the feather. Destroying everything and wreaking havoc. He makes a huge flaming sword, which is pretty cool. And then Zeus comes by, steals the golden feather. But he lets him keep the fire sword because it's pretty awesome. Then Nestor beats him in battle. He says he's not going to help him. Then they come out. He realizes that killing him won't do any well. So he tries to kill him. And Atrucos blocks it. Then he tries to kill him again. And Praxis blocks it. And then she blocks it. And there's a whole line of them. And he becomes a hermit again. And it's 10 years later. And it sets up another book. But I don't know if it's going to happen. I hope it's going to happen. He sees all of his friends. And then he wants to go on another adventure. And that's the end of book 2. So this book is really good. I think I like this one more than the first one because of the actual adventure part. Let's talk about the characters first. Zosimos gains a little bit more wisdom and is a little bit less of a jerk. Atrucos, he just gets taller. I'll show you a picture. Just see a picture. Yeah. He got taller. Praxis is basically the same. A little bit smarter. Alexa's the same, but blind now. Asteria is way better. She used to be way more annoying. Nestor becomes a really cool bad guy, but not as good as the last one. And there's a bunch of like stickonauts, which are like members of like a, I don't know, they're like a boat crew. We'll just say that they're right here. They have a lot of people on there. Who else? that's about it for the characters. That's the main characters for this book. That's it about the book. It's really good. I love the story and I love the action of both books, but this is my favorite one. And I love the detail and the art because it's a little different than the first book. The first book doesn't have as much backgrounds, so it's cooler in this book. That looks amazing. Alright, now I'm going to get to the last big questions that I have. Question number 4. Why did you decide to write stories? Because that's a really good question that I thought of a long time ago. Number 5. Did you base your characters off of real people? And number 6. Is screenwriting a good or well-paying job, and do you like it? Because I might want to do that one day. Sounds fun. That's about it for the review.